I'm not paying attention. Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the award-winning Recovery Podcast brought to you by the McShin Foundation. Get in the herd. My name is Nathan Mitchell. I am your host today. I'm coming to you live from Richmond, Virginia. Our producer, Justin, he is in an undisclosed location, bunker, chilling out, getting ready. Today on our show, we have one of my favorite people, and not just because you wear silly suits and stuff, but just because you are a fierce recovery advocate. I see you there in Pennsylvania. You got a fancy bedroom back there. Welcome to the show. Our guest today, Johnny Fab, Johnny Fabulous. Johnny, welcome to the show, man. Tell me, what's going on with that amazing bedroom behind you?
Well, just like a lot of us advocates, and Nathan, thank you for having me on the podcast. It's awesome to be back with McShin and get in the herd. So thank you for that. But about 250 of us across the United States are heading for Las Vegas for Mobilize Recovery. Yes. Which will just be an action-packed weekend that I know we'll get a lot into in this podcast. But I'm at the Philadelphia airport getting ready to take off tomorrow morning. So I'm not a big driver. So I like to, get somewhere so I don't have to. It's 2.5 hours to get to Philadelphia. So I figured why not be here the day before where I can relax rather than probably where Nathan is right now with a list of 1,000 things he showed me before I got to do. My list is done. I'm here. I'm at the airport. I'm relaxing, and I get a chance to spend some time with you all.
That's all. What time is your flight tomorrow?
It is at 10 a.m., but it's 5.5 hour flight, but we get there at 1 o'clock. So, I'm a Doctor Who fan, so I'm time traveling, my man. I'm time traveling. So the plane is the TARDIS. We're getting in the plane. And I just have this vision of when I get on the plane, it's like, welcome to Recovery Airlines. Please have a seat. You may see when we get to 30,000 feet, recovery will be free for all. Yes, don't worry about your tray tables. Nathan Mitchell will be along to put them up in a little while.
We'll be dancing. We'll be dancing on the tray tables. We'll be dancing to Macklemore.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
Well, tell me, Johnny, man, dude. I'm so glad to have you here. The energy's awesome. I've been talking to people. I am so stoked to be going. And I looked at my flight. I was telling you before the show. I looked at my flight about 2 hours ago, and I realized that the time I was looking at of leaving is actually the time we leave Houston after a layover. So we're leaving at 8:30 in the morning tomorrow. I had the whole morning and afternoon planned to print stuff out, do this and that, and suddenly I went, oh, it's happening. And it turns out it's going to happen with me or without me, so I better get on board. But I am so excited, man, to get on the flight, to get down there, to get over there. It's 3 hours. You're right. The plane is the TARDIS. I love that. What are you most looking forward to?
One of the highlights of the weekend that I am really looking forward to, actually, it just brings in this all together is, I believe it's on Sunday. It's building a recovery community organization from the ground up with yourself, John Shinholster and Carol McDade. Having been a person that has worked in establishing recovery community organizations in the Northeast. On our side, my experience as a director of these community organizations has been more of the managed care side, where the funding came from, managed care rather than coming from the community. So to actually, look at that aspect of the training over the weekend and see really how McShin has done all that and how you all have done what's happened in McShin, I think will be a very educational. When I saw that pop up in our you can go to this training, I was like, boom, I bet you if you go there, it's got Johnny 4 times. And I was worried I wouldn't get into it. So, I'm just really happy to be attending that. That's for sure. But, hey, wait a minute. You got to think as well, hey, wait a minute. Seeing Nathan, Carol, and John, that's got to be great. But what about the Recover Out Loud concert, right? Monday night, Recover Out Loud with, of course, my favorite guy, Macklemore. And for all the mobilizers and everyone attending broadcast of this, which will be the 30th, the last day of the month on iHeartRadio. Of course, you're going to see Macklemore, The Residency, KT Tunstall, Eddie McKinney, and Daphne Willis. I think I got them all. But keep an eye out for maybe somebody there, if they film them at that concert, that may make an appearance in something crazy. I wouldn't be me. But Nathan, when I started out in all of this, it wasn't because I wanted to work in recovery or I wanted to do things in recovery. I just wanted to be in recovery. I just wanted my life to change. I was a bar and a club owner, and I got into recovery, and my pathway begins in incarceration. On January 26, 2014, I didn't want to feel this air in my lungs any longer. And my gift of desperation came to me in a jail cell. And from that jail cell, I started to, live a different life. And it's funny that you mentioned the energy and what is the source of that energy. Everyone always says to me, Johnny, the energy. And interesting enough, my name is John Fabizeski, but everyone calls me Johnny Fab because someone couldn't pronounce my name, Nathan. So they just said, and our next guest is Johnny Fab. So it's stuck,
It's such an easy last name too.
Yeah. But in that jail, I started to actually talk with other men, and have really good conversations and actually build friendships in incarceration. And I wanted that to carry on outside when I left incarceration. And there was one particular friend, this individual had energy that just was overflowed, no matter what the situation was, could be dire. And this individual has still got this energy, and he's trying to lift other people up, no matter the consequence to himself. And one particular day, I wrote about this today in on my Facebook, and it was playing cards. That's what people do when they're incarcerated, is play cards. But these individuals would bang on the table. They'd make all this noise, and it was something in particular, like dissension. A bunch of us, we couldn't sleep. We couldn't do things with this card playing and banging. This individual saw that, and what he had done was he slipped the 4 of clubs out of that deck of cards. And he slipped it to me, and I took it and I put it in my big book. 12 steps is my pathway. And I slipped it in my big book. And here, I'm thinking, well, I should do the right thing. I should tell everybody about what I want, this and that. But this made this individual feel so good because he had fixed something that was, we were all mad at. And here, a year ago, I got the call that this individual had lost his life to this illness. And I opened that book, and on that page, there sat that 4 clubs still. So from that day forward, I carry that card with me. I went to his viewing and wanted to send that card off with him, and I kept it. Maybe it was a selfish thing, but I kept it with me, and I keep it today because the energy I put out there is just because I want to leave the world a little bit happier than the way I found it. I'm just a guy from a rural town in Pennsylvania that there's nothing particular particularly miraculous about me. I'm not a miracle. I'm not something, I'm just the product of publicly funded treatment, a criminal justice system that was compassionate, and I got a chance to go through a diversionary program. And I thought I was going to move on with my life. And my son, who has special needs, he came to me one day, and he can understand that addiction, substance use disorder, is an illness and not being morally bankrupt, that I'm somehow a bad person. He understood it right away. And he said, Dad, what can we do about all my friends dying? All his friends from his class, 18 years old, graduating, they're dying to overdoses. And I think that's where my act one of my story really began, because I didn't have that. I didn't have that in my life. I didn't have the support of a family that was going to, that natured me. They sort of stole my innocence. And I wanted to let my son know that you can make a difference. So everything I do and everything that I do from that day forward is really for my family, is to show them the possibilities of the story doesn't end here, right? So, I make him proud today, but I also, I think that along the way, I've had an influence on some individuals. And I didn't mean to get down that road, but I just want to give you the source of where this all comes from and what it's all about.
I really appreciate that story. I'm glad we went down this road, because the Four of Clubs, that's a really it's an important detail. And I get, look at that. Question for you, Johnny.
Yes.
Is that the story of self you'll be telling on Saturday?
There'll be pieces of it, yes.
Pieces of that?
Yes.
Good pieces stuff.
Yes. Yeah. But let's lift it up, right? Let's lift it up from where we were. So
let's lift it up, yeah.
It's Recovery Month, right? It's Recovery Month.
Insane, man. 32 years of Recovery Month. And I feel like, look, I'm 28 this year. Ish. All right, I'm 45. But I'm 45. That means Recovery Month's been happening since, 1989? That's incredible. Something like that. So I've missed out on a lot of Recovery Months. I hope to get a whole bunch going forward, because I've had a blast this year. What have you guys been up to? Because I know I saw some pictures of you doing some big-ass bad things yesterday. What'd you do?
So it's been a whirlwind, right? Since September 1, bang, it starts Recovery Month. I actually wish that every day or every month was Recovery Month, and I try to celebrate it that way. But we can't be selfish. We got to take 1 month. We'll take September. It's like the end of summer, and then by the end of September, it comes that Green Day song playing in my Wake me up when September. But
you do know what that song is about, though, right?
Possibly not. No.
Yeah, it's a sad song, actually.
But I'm not trying to connect it. It's just that at the end of September, it's like everyone is like so exhausted. But I want to tell you, I'm the opposite way. It's like someone took battery terminals. They have to give me a jump start when September comes. By the end of September, that's my fuel for the rest of the year, my brother. Right. That's my fuel. So starting off Recovery Month, one of the first things that, I had the privilege to do, along with people from Pennsylvania Recovery Advocacy Project, Pennsylvania Recovery Organizations Alliance, and the Pennsylvania Peer Support Coalition, was go over the edge for recovery. So what we did is we traveled to Penn State, and what's really cool is like I'll connect this to a whole story, and it felt like early recovery. Like we arrived at this building and we didn't know where to park, and my spidey sense started saying, well, you know what, just forget it. Just forget it. Just go on. Don't worry about it. But then we drove around. We found a place to park. And then we walk up to the building. And you go up these steps, and you can't get in the door unless you have a code, right, to get in the door. So, and I'm like, you know what, now forget it. But then I learned something from what I learned about recovery was call someone. So I called someone inside, and they said, yeah, I'll come right down. I'll open the door for you, and then we proceed to get in all of this climbing gear and everything. And they take you up on an elevator, and you go up on a roof, And here we are, 14 stories above the ground. And, they train you on how you're going to rappel off this building, and here I am in all this harness stuff, this gear, and I'm starting to lean over the edge. And my trainer in front of me says to me, he says, listen, you can't screw this up. You can go as fast or slow as you want. Let go. You're going to be safe. You're fine. We got you. And I think in my recovery, I learned that from my community is that we're going to love you until you can love yourself. And, just take your time. Just take your time. You're going to be okay. And everyone on the ground is kind of cheering, yay, hey, there's Johnny Fab. He's going to go over the edge. And I'm kind of like, yeah, no, I'm not. I'm going to run back up off this roof. I ain't doing it. No way. And, and I slowly start to pull myself down, and I get to the ground, and it was one of the most incredible things. And going from there, we had Courage to Change Recovery Advocacy Day in Harrisburg, and all of the people involved with the Pennsylvania Recovery Advocacy Project, our organizers, Joy, Jordan, Scott, Jason, Katrina, and our news member, Jennifer. We came together there to present our platform to our state officials, to our SSA, to say, after hosting listening sessions across Pennsylvania, here are the issues that are most important to the communities of Pennsylvania. And when I say this is the PA RAP platform, it's not ours as like it's John's or Jordan's. It is Pennsylvania's voices, their voices, recovery, people not in recovery, people using drugs, allies, families. This is the issues that they talked about and they wanted to see taken care of. So we walked up there, that Capitol. We started getting signatures to support syringe service programs and expansion of naloxone, and to get our state SSA to demand that they start listening to the things that are coming from our communities, from us, from everyone there. And it was just an incredible experience. Every year this is held in the Capitol. And last night to cap it all off, when we got here to Philadelphia, it just gotten dark, and I got an image from one of the organizers to say the Capitol is now purple. To see the Capitol purple, it's just a powerful thing. It's just a powerful thing. And what a week, right? And then we have all these emotions, and now it's like, get ready to go. We're going on to the next leg of this 5,504-mile round trip week for me and my wife across the country. So, yeah, it's just been incredible.
Man, I am juiced listening to you. That's what an exciting month there's been. I want to get to some questions here. So Jamie Christopher Baker asks, what's the megaphone for? What are you taking that? How are you taking that on the plane?
Why is he taking a megaphone on the plane? Well, I'm taking the megaphone just because it's a prop, and it was with me yesterday in Harrisburg, and it may stay in the car, but I don't know. I feel like this may come in handy out there in Vegas. And Jamie, I will make sure that you get to use it if you need to.
If I have a say in any of this, Johnny, take it to Vegas. Take it to Vegas.
It's on the plane.
It's on the plane. Get it on the plane. I think you can do it. So when we get to Vegas, all right. So we get there. You're getting there tomorrow. I'm getting there a little after you tomorrow, and we have a free evening. I don't have plans tomorrow night. I'm going to get acquainted with my sleeping cycle and probably do. I don't know. Maybe sit at the pool for a little bit, right? And then Friday, right? We've got this free day, and then we have stuff to do Friday evening, and then we go into Saturday. What are you going to do with the free time? You and your wife are there. What are you doing? Well, are you going to go skydiving?
Well, there are many things we can do, right? So I started to try to convince my wife earlier. Actually, we had planned on getting remarried when we were out in Vegas. But with the weekend and all the action-packed stuff, we didn't want to take anything away from that or say, well, I can't attend this workshop because I'm getting married. But we're actually going to the Dominican for Christmas. So we're going to try to do it there. But I would love to take a helicopter trip to the Grand Canyon. I just would love to be able to do that, but I can't convince her, I don't think yet. But maybe you can help me with that, Nathan. But I think really, just like the last time I attended Mobilize, I think for me, it's not about doing the things in Vegas. It's about connecting with the individuals that are attending. So whether it's doing a dinner with you, Nathan, if it's finding other people that are there and saying, hey, what are you all doing? Listen, Alexandra will tell you this. Poolside chats are the best. Networking together to get all these resources together. We find our best solutions by just connecting. And I can tell you that I learned this from 2 EMTs in my advocacy. And what it was we in Wyoming County, we had just announced that we had gotten naloxone on all basic life-saving ambulances, right? There's an ALS and a BLS. So an ALS is an ambulance and all life-saving. It has paramedics. And a BLS is a basic, just has EMTs that respond to something. And we had gotten naloxone as a county. Gene Desiak had just announced we got it there. Here we are at the county fair, and we're doing a balloon release, right? All these balloons for people we've lost, purple balloons. And we're playing the Arms of an Angel, right? The song. You can just imagine the understanding. But Nathan, you have to also understand who our audience was. We're talking rural Pennsylvania farmers that, what's that Narcan stuff? What's going on here? What are y'all talking about? We're all trying to clap. And I realized the dairy princesses.
Wait, dairy princess?
Yes. So dairy princess, they get a sash, they get all their dresses on, and they get awards. They're dairy princesses.
This sounds like a drag competition.
No. These are actual farmers' girls. They're dairy princesses. They get a prize. They get awards. They're going up next after us. And we're playing this song, and all the balloons are releasing, and I look over, and all their mascara is done, and flying. We've devastated the county fair, right? County fair is a great place to raise awareness, but know who your next people up are behind you. So when we made this announcement, I'm looking at everyone, and they're kind of like, yeah, great, whatever. What does it mean to them? What does it mean to them? So I walked up to 2 EMTs that were, they're getting some pizza from one of our greatest places in our area, Triton Pizza. And these 2 EMTs were there. And I said to them, so you have Narcan on your ambulance now. How do you feel about that? And one individual says, well, I don't understand why we have to keep using that on people. I mean, one time, what's not work, keep doing it time and time again. And that just made me so angry, Nathan, right? I wanted to just combust. I wanted to just reach out and be like, what's wrong with you? But that's not how we do things. So I said, thank you very much for your opinion. And I asked his partner, I said to her, so how do you feel? And she said, Narcan saved my sister's life. Without it, she wouldn't be the mother she is today. She wouldn't have her children back in her life. I'm so proud of her. She's doing so well. And I said, thank you. And I walked away. Sometimes it's just as easy as starting the conversation, about having the conversation and letting individuals, sort of see what those 2 have to work together all the time now, Nathan, and they have this differing opinion on things. But of course, having the conversation, we don't know what we don't know. So I want to connect with everybody. It's always been my thing, is to meet as many people as going to be immobilized. I know I'm not going to get all 250 in, but I want to know what you do, how you did it, how you're doing it, what you need, and let's work together. I think the spirit of Mobilize, that's the spirit of what Mobilize is collaboration, right?
Well, so I think the question that's on everybody's mind right now, after everything you just shared, do you know what the question is? Because I need to know this information. Who won Dairy Princess? Who is the next leader of the dairy community in Princess Power? And does she need to be rescued by the Mario Brothers or something? I'm picturing picturing Tammy Faye right now. Tammy Faye Baker with the makeup and everything. So my vision is, the more makeup smeared, the more you're demonstrating emotion and vitality, the more you're likely to win. I'm a manipulator.
I don't know who won. I didn't stick around to see who won. Of course, anytime you do something, it's always about seeing how the public reacts to it. We just went about our day. So I'm sorry, I don't have the answer to that question. I don't know who won the Dairy Princess, Nathan.
But it is so important. And I that story of how you connected the two EMTs together with the stories, because
Right.
I mean, you and I both know that sometimes people say things and they don't really know what they're saying. I do that a lot, myself. And this guy, probably never really thought too much about it other than, seeing the next person and the next person, and not recognizing the reality is that this is a disease. This is not something I can just stop doing. Believe me, I don't want to be, being hit by Narcan multiple times, but I'm stuck in a trap. I'm stuck in this loop and I don't know how to get out of it. And I deserve help too, when it comes right down to it. And that's a beautiful thing, the way you told that story, because you didn't need to be all in your face. You didn't slam him down. In fact, you didn't even do anything. You all except start a conversation with his partner, which I'm sure had him think about things later.
Right.
That's incredible.
I think that, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Nathan.
No.
I think that, and I'm going to go out on a limb here to say this, is because I'm a bachelor student, and some of my classmates may be watching the podcast right now. And interesting, for my bachelor's in social work, we're working on a project now where we're looking at stigma associated with with medically assisted treatment or medically assisted recovery. And I did some blind surveys of the recovery community and of families and of people just not knowing anything about recovery and what they think about individuals that use medical assisted recovery as a form of recovery. And the results were quite shocking, even from the recovery community itself, about the stigma associated with using a medication as a form of recovery. And I'm not happy with that. So, and I can get all and bring that guy out and like, stop doing that. And then I can search Facebook posts and I can be like, you gotta get educated. You have to do. Now, what does that do? It does nothing. So it's about having those conversations, about continuing those conversations with the public at large, and even with us in the recovery community. Because no one should ever feel excluded, no matter what their pathway is. No matter what you use for recovery, it should not face that stigma where I'm looking at you differently than my own recovery, or like I'm holding it up on some sort of pedestal that I'm better than you because I do it this way or that way, and you're not in recovery. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth, and I think we need to work collaboratively to discover more ways to effectively put that message out there or have that conversation, rather than just so this guy doesn't come out. We don't want to see this Johnny come out. No, he doesn't want to come out. And I think that I've tried to do that over the last 7 years or so in every sort of avenue that I've worked at, is what can I do to not feel so angry and to feel empowered? What can I do to take that anger and turn it into change, into positive change? And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, Nathan, but we keep trying, right?
Well, yes. And a big part of that, in Nathan's little humble opinion, is empowering others to tell the story, and you and I have been so fortunate. I've been very fortunate. I think you feel the same way, to be going through this training over the last couple of weeks, so that we are going to be coaching people on Saturday about telling stories. And just between you and me, I completely feel out of my depth here. I'm scared as hell to be vulnerable to help other people, but I know the importance of this. Like I'm ecstatic, I'm excited, I'm honored, and it's gonna be an amazing experience for me, and I hope for the other 6 people in my little group. But part of telling my story is to empower the next person to tell their story, so that my story will connect to your story, and that story will connect to the next person, so that my story of self becomes a story of us. And from there, we talk about, well, all right, so that's our story together. So what do we need to do? What's the change? What is our story of now, right? This is where I'm going with this, right? And so what are those linked pieces that make this a narrative that we can actually get something done? And I something clicked in that training Thursday or probably Friday, that put it all together for me and made me really juiced to do this. It's gonna be a long day on Saturday, but I also, we're both on East Coast time, so when they say 6:45, I already know. Oh, it's 9:45. We'll be fine. No, you don't think that way?
It won't be 9:45. It'll be 6:45.
Yeah, but we'll still be on East Coast time. Hey, listen, I'm not changing my watch. No, but anyway. But you see, like I love that. Like in my recovery coaching, when I'm one-on-one with somebody, when I get to do groups like today, I had a group this morning, and the group was orientation. We went over all the McShin rules and stuff that we do, right? But it wasn't a, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this. Like, no, this is what we're suggesting. What do you all think of that? Let's talk about why we do this. And I actually, because it was the group that connected me with McShin when I first was a participant, I was advocating to bring it back. And so we brought it back and we did it today. And I love to be able to sit there and do that because I don't like being told what to do. I have a story. I have something that connects me to you, but I don't know how to connect that if you're just telling me what to do. So we had, we collaborated and we worked on this. And we said, these are the things that McShin, has said works. What do you all think of that? Why do you think we do that? And how do we really, do these things? And that leads to, for me, I do a story because of the trainings we've done. I have a group at 9:30 on Friday mornings that talks about story of self, right? They're going to have somebody else doing it this week, but that's okay. But that group is, how do we advocate for ourselves? And for me, in early recovery, and our guys have different levels of recovery, right? But it's as simple as, okay, who's the person I need to pay my bed fees to? Who do I talk to about signing up for health insurance benefits? Can I get help with job placement and stuff like that? Because really, I came to Richmond myself. I didn't know anybody in Richmond. I'm from Northern Virginia, 2 hours away. I came here with no job, a bag of groceries, a bag of clothes, and that was it. No money, and I figured shit out. But I figured shit out by asking for help. And sometimes not asking help in a timely manner, so I stayed in my shit for a while. But, and so that's what we're doing, right? We're teaching people how to advocate first for themselves, and then how do we advocate for the community? And I love that. I think I'm so excited about Saturday. What are your thoughts on Saturday? What are you most looking forward to on Saturday, if anything?
So, I awesome story of self, us now. The only piece I didn't get right there was your linked narrative taking action, because you did great, Nathan. What I really am looking forward to, and this has been something that this training has provided for me in being a coach, is many times as a community, we go into events or we attend things and we walk out of there, Nathan, like, I'm ready. You got me. But there is no ask. What do I do from here? The air's out of the balloon. And I think that, having the opportunity through the Recovery Advocacy Project, Mobilize Recovery, to even be a part of this, let alone be a coach in it, is going to be so empowering for my community members. I want to be able to teach this to advocates and individuals that are coming in and like, what do I do? How do I do it? And how does my story make a difference? Here's where that power goes, So here's what I'm most looking forward to is watching the individuals in our group who were like you and I at the beginning of this training when we started taking it, to be totally like, I don't know, I'm confused, to actually going into that story of that linked narrative, bridging it together and walking out of there and then seeing them 3 months later or a week later in their community doing that and actually making a change. Because that's what we've been missing for so long. And I think that this training in some way has brought that together to say, here's a clear, concise message, and better yet, here's what you can do when you leave. Here's how to do it, when to do it, why it's important. Here's the dream. Here's the nightmare. Here's the urgency. Here's all of these pieces put together, and it gets people involved. It touches people in a personal way where we don't walk out of that room saying, wow, that's such a powerful story. I wish somebody could do something. Now it answers that question. You are someone, do something, and here's how. here's how to do it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I anticipate we're going to hear some really powerful stories.
Oh, yeah.
Over the weekend, and get to know the people that we've all come to get really close to through Zoom over the last year. In the last 2 years, my first Mobilize Recovery was last year. Hey, Justin, welcome back.
Well, thank you. I have a guest real quick.
Oh. Who's we have a special.
I just hey.
Hey, Honesty.
I'm gonna miss y'all at.
Oh, there she goes.
Okay. Hi. I'm gonna miss y'all at Mobilize. I'm so super bummed I can't come. Well, it's my choice not to come because of my whole COVID experience. So, but I'm downstairs in my office watching, and I was like, let me just pop in here. So I'm texting Justin. I'm like, you think Nathan's gonna get mad? Because I don't know how super territorial he is.
Not at all.
I just wanted to say hi to you, Johnny. Hi. How are you? Y'all are doing great. I just wanted to pop in and say hey, but I'll be commenting. I just wanted to surprise Nathan, so I can interrupt.
I love you, Honesty. Thank you.
Have fun.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm so excited. Johnny, I think I've only met you in person once. Is that correct?
I was at McShin, yes.
For Recovery Fest last year?
Recovery Fest, yes.
Yeah.
Drove down for that.
Hey,
That was incredible.
Bye again from me.
Oh, hi. Oh, bye again.
Bye again.
Bye-bye.
I love that. I mean, that's look, like sometimes I do get serious here, probably too often because Justin says I'm getting stale.
You're stale?
I don't know, man.
I haven't noticed that.
I don't know. Maybe, and I felt.
Okay. Look, I have to defend myself. I didn't say you were getting stale. I said occasionally, sometimes when we run like repeat episodes and things like that, the show itself can get stale. We always have awesome content. We have awesome guests, as we see today. Johnny, you come on and comment all the time, and that's awesome. I
love the show.
Every episode we do, the first comment I see is "Boom, Johnny Fab." Like, what's up, man?
And that really keeps me going, though.
Interestingly enough, a year ago today, the 22nd of September was my first guest shot on In the Herd. So absolutely, if I have the time, it's on the background. I'll put it on. I'll be working and I'll be on the podcast. You might not see me comment, but when I come in, I'm like, boom, here I am. I'm listening. I'd love to be in the herd. But Nathan, you asked a question earlier about also what I'm looking forward to workshop wise, or, I'm absolutely looking forward to seeing advocates across the United States and being able to, engage with them, to listen to, share some of my experience, listen to their experience. But I think one of the key things that I saw during our training was the voice of families not feeling included as a voice in the recovery movement. And I'm really going to be listening, and I specifically attending the lifting and want to be lifting up and attending the role of the family in advocacy, because I think that they are some of our strongest allies. And having family members not feeling that way, that they are not included in the recovery movement, it brings out that guy again. And I want to educate myself, and I want to also be lifting up those voices. Having a family member, my wife, who's a family recovery specialist, be able to support my communities to have more of that family voice. Am I here?
Yeah.
Did I leave?
You're here. We lost you for a second.
Hotel internet.
Yeah. I want to be able to lift up those voices a little bit more because, because I am here today in recovery and this life because of a family member's advocacy, not my family, but a woman named Sandra Vazurek in my community in Wyoming County advocated for treatment court programs after losing her son to an overdose. And, she's such a staunch reporter or such a staunch supporter of recovery programs and of recovery. And unfortunately, we lost her in our community a few weeks ago. And without her advocacy, without her voice, without that tenacious spirit she had to just, this has got to change, I'd probably still be sitting in a prison cell or worse right now. So everything I have, I owe to families. And I want the space to be more inclusive of their voices and lifting them up.
I admire that, actually. I'm grateful to hear that. For me, what I have been most looking forward to is learning about what harm reduction really means. And I've had some interesting conversations throughout this training and other trainings through RAP, the Recovery Advocacy Project that we've done, with people like Jacqueline Brown, right? Who is this incredible activist, incredible advocate. And I had one little conversation on the side with her at one point during a training, and I said something, and she I just didn't know what I was saying. And she said something to me which blew my mind and helped me. Johnny, that was really fun. You just got locked for a second there, frozen, but you got frozen like this. It was a good look. But so I'm looking forward to having those conversations and filling in the gaps of my knowledge, because there's so much that I know I don't know. And this is the opportunity to start filling that in. Authentic peer recovery was the thing that saved me, right?
Yeah.
Boom. But getting John and Carol and everybody here at McShin, who worked tirelessly to put a jail program into the jail where I was, not making a ton of money off of it, probably not making any money at all off of it, but making sure that there was somebody in there offering hope, somebody in there that was not only a peer, but a peer who'd been in the same jail I was currently in, who said, if I can do it, I know you can do it, and giving me those first moments of hope. And then discovering that I didn't have to continue along the lines I was continuing, but actually I could get into recovery and still have a really awesome, incredible, amazing life that I didn't even think I could ever write. I thought I'd be boring. I thought, not to use, I'm sorry, Justin, I'm beating you up a little bit, but I thought I'd be stale. But the reality, it's funny because I kid, right, Johnny? I gotta defend myself here, and because I love Justin, and because like what he says, I want to figure out. I was like, what is it about this? And it's funny because the conversation during that show, after when he said that, the conversation previously during that show included me talking about getting high in the parking lot right after seeing my pretrial officer. And I thought, well, man, that's not freaking raw. But it's like, I love that because Justin's right. It's like more of that. Like that shit is what those are the gaps. That's the hole that needs to be plugged right there. If in pretrial, I had met somebody like John or like you or Justin or somebody, with some peer recovery knowledge and looked at me and said, you're lying through your freaking teeth, and called me out instead of just taking my urine, saying, oh, look at how great you're doing, and then moving on with the day. Because I lost 35 pounds in 4 months in front of this woman. I was getting high like crazy. So yeah, that's, and now I can see where some of those gaps are and try to fill those in. And that's why these conferences are so important, because I don't have all the answers to fill those gaps. We don't have all the answers. Well, we at McShin don't have all the answers, but together we collectively, we have a lot of those answers, and we can still push to get more and more and more. I am so stoked, and I know that we're going to come away with a whole bunch of people I'm going to talk to right here on the podcast, starting in the fall. So, yeah. So, what are you going to be eating on Friday night at the party?
So, Nathan, I love what you said there, but I always try to think about it in this aspect: is I become the expert by not being the expert. I become the expert by not being the expert. Is that I'm forever teachable. I don't know everything, and I don't want to know everything. I don't want to be the guy that has all the answers. I want to be the guy that listens and tries to take as many solutions as possible to my community and to affect change in some way. I think that, over my time being involved as an organizer with the Recovery Advocacy Project here in Pennsylvania, that I've seen individuals like me, and I've watched them grow. and I've watched us become a team. And you know what that feels like, being part of a team in Virginia. And to see all of these teams coming together in Las Vegas, that's a powerful thing. That's a powerful thing. We're not experts, trying to become a little bit better. And yeah, of course, it's great to see all these, like Macklemore. Like that's my gimme. What? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pop some tags. No, I'm just saying that. Yeah, that's great, but it brings us together as well because there are people in recovery. And the other day, I saw an image of Robert Downey Jr. Was with his son. Robert Downey Jr. being in recovery, a person in recovery, and public about it, with his son in an Iron Man costume. And I looked at that image and wow, that had so much meaning to me. It's more than just if you think about, you search Robert Downey Jr. And you see photos of him being in addiction, but do we see enough of this now? Do we see enough of what this image is now? We don't celebrate people in recovery enough, right? We don't celebrate that we've overcome it because most of the country, from my project, still believes that substance use disorder is a moral failing. We have a lot of work to do. I can walk in one block in my little circle of people and they understand that it's an illness. But I can walk one block over and I can have a whole different view. And when I see images like that, and when we see things coming together like this, when I see an image that has his son in that Iron Man costume, that's his hero. But to most, they see the individual that was in their worst, right? We think of that, we sensationalize it. Everyone does. We don't see enough of people in recovery out. Hey, guess what? Nathan celebrated this today. Front page, newspaper. No, but I'll tell you, Nathan, problem. They wouldn't have a single problem with put you on the front page if something happened wrong with you. But again, for me, it's just about creating change and being the Iron Man to my little boy, if that makes sense.
I like it. And for you, Johnny Fab, we'll get you a license plate. It'll say FEXY, Iron Man. How about that? But you're right, though, like changing that narrative, right? And changing the conversations. I'm sure you do in your daily life. I have an opportunity now in recovery and in my career of talking to reporters, talking to people, journalists about recovery and what that means. And often, one of the first things I'll talk about is like, I'm sick of these sad freaking stories that tell about all the bad sides of recovery. Show me the story of the woman who got her kids back. Show me the story of the father, who's got a relationship with his family and his parents, and is getting the job back and is doing the things. Show me the young guy who's got 20 years now in recovery, who's coming back and helping the next guy and the next guy and the next guy. Show me those stories. Don't show me the story where the front picture is a bunch of pills and razors and stuff. I know what addiction looks like. People know what addiction looks like. Right. Show me what recovery looks like. And not just because, hey, we want to trumpet recovery because look at me, I'm in recovery. But no, because the guy who's struggling with his addiction right now, who may not know where to go, can look at that and say, you know what, that doesn't look so bad. Maybe there's something there for me. Maybe I can think about something else. Maybe I can do something else. We all just need a little hope shot. I just need a little hope shot,
So you want Nathan, I want to bring you in. You're going to be one of the top people in our new organization. We'll recruit some people. We are going to go to Ted Turner, right? And we're going to start RNN, the Recovery News Network, where it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week recovery news channel. I would watch it.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you if you told Ted Turner that you're going to have 25 plus million viewers right away across the United States that are in recovery, they're going to watch the Recovery News Network. We make it a channel.
Yeah. You're frozen
We're
again.
at that.
There you are. Are you okay? You're back. Damn.
We don't have that broad sort of reach with our voices, and that's why we do that. This is our Recovery News Network, where people get to take these things back to their communities and spread this.
That's an awesome point, Johnny. That's
right.
Yeah. Man, I'm sorry, you're breaking up. But you know what? We're coming close to an hour anyway, and let's land on a high note here. Let's land on a high note. I can't wait to see you in person. I think I'm going to create a little sticker that says "I accept hugs," because I know that we're all going to be going around going, "Are you hugging? Are you bumping? What are you doing?" And I'm like, no. Come on, hug me. I need validation. No, but I need love, right? And that Recovery News Network, right? Like Johnny, you should have a show. I'd watch your show. I see you on TikTok, dancing around every couple of days. You throw something up there with your silly costumes, and I guess yeah. But looking forward to seeing you. Do you have any last words you want to share with us, or if I miss? Oh no, you're frozen.
My last words are going to freeze. That's great. Hotel internet sucks. I feel so much like, well, I just want to add, if I don't freeze up or break up, is just that to anyone that's watching, anyone that's doing, this is possible. You can recover. I am not something that is spectacular. I'm not a miracle. I am just a regular guy that is trying to make the world a little better place. And if we had more people doing the same thing, maybe we could make a difference. So thanks, Nathan, for having me. And thanks always to McShin for this podcast.
Man, that was a beautiful way to end that. Thank you, Johnny Fab, for being a fabulous guest today. I will see you either tomorrow night or Friday. We will be in Vegas, baby, partying it up. We're going to be Recovery Rat Pack is what I'm saying. I've been listening. Hey, what was it? Recovery? What'd you say? Do that again. I have been listening to Frank Sinatra the last couple of days. Luck be a lady tonight.
Oh, no.
Luck be a lady tonight. I'm from Jersey originally. Luck if you've ever been a lady to be. All right, I'm done. Hey, listen, I can't wait to see you and see everybody in fabulous Las Vegas. It's going to be an amazing recovery event. And I love what you said, Johnny, because the reality is, man, I came here with nothing. I was down and I found a way out. And I found a way out because a whole bunch of people showed me. Actually, I didn't find shit. People found me and said, hey, guess what? Look at this. Here's the way out. And they helped me do that, and now I get the opportunity to do that for somebody else. So I'm excited. Can't wait to see you. Love you all. Thank you for everybody listening. Tomorrow, Justin's going to be on the show. Justin's going to be taking control with New Persons to Recovery. We're going to see some fun stuff. I don't know what he's going to be doing, but I have a feeling after the megaphone that Johnny brought, Justin's going to have to bring something too. Justin's got the hammer on his head, though, so he'll be bringing the hammer. I will see you all next Wednesday. We haven't decided what we're going to do yet, but I'm sure it'll be fun. But I'll take care, everybody, and have a great rest of your week. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Bye.
Here at McShin, we believe in the McShin way, which is authentic recovery support service providers, people with lived experience, bringing that experience to those who need that lived experience in recovery.
Here at McShin, we believe in many things to support our mission. We believe in women empowerment.
What I love most about what we believe here at McShin is we believe in the authenticity of the peer-to-peer approach.
Here at the McShin Foundation, we believe in giving people opportunity.
Here at McShin, we believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every person.
At the McShin Foundation, we believe in helping people reach their full potential.
Here at the McShin Foundation, we believe in multiple pathways to recovery.
Here at McShin, we believe in placing principles before personalities to help spread hope.
Here at McShin, we believe that recovery is possible and that any person seeking recovery can become a more acceptable, responsible, and productive member of society.
Here at the McShin Foundation, we believe in self-discovery.
Here at McShin, we believe in saving lives and offering second chances.
Here at McShin, we believe you can do this.
Here at McShin Foundation, we believe that we can only keep what we have by giving away, which is why we continue to help others like us seek and find recovery.
Any place.